My teacher tried taking my prosthetic leg off in class because she thought I was faking it. I've been wearing a prosthetic leg since I was 9 after bone cancer took my real one. By high school, I'd gotten used to explaining it to new teachers, showing my medical documentation, and moving on. Most educators were understanding and supportive, but Mrs. Henderson, our long-term substitute for AP Biology, was different from day one. She kept making comments about kids these days faking everything for special treatment and would stare at me whenever I used the elevator or took extra time transitioning between classes. I tried showing her my 504 plan and medical records, but she just rolled her eyes and muttered something about convenient paperwork. The breaking point came during a lab practical. I was working at my assigned station when she approached with this smug expression. She whispered that she'd dealt with attention-seeking students before and that my little act wasn't fooling anyone. I explained again that my prosthetic was real, even offering to show her the attachment point, but she just smiled coldly. "Prove it then," she said loudly enough for nearby students to hear. "If it's real, you won't mind me checking." Before I could react, she grabbed my prosthetic leg and yanked hard, trying to pull it off like it was some costume piece. The pain was excruciating as the socket twisted against my residual limb. I screamed and fell backward, knocking over lab equipment as she continued pulling, convinced it would just pop off. The entire class stopped working. Several students started yelling at her to stop. My friend Jake was recording everything on his phone, initially thinking it was just another teacher-student argument, but quickly realizing what was actually happening. Mrs. Henderson kept yanking, getting frustrated that my leg wasn't coming off easily. She was actually damaging the prosthetic's locking mechanism and causing serious pain to my residual limb. I was crying and begging her to stop, but she insisted I was putting on a show. That's when the principal walked in for his routine classroom observation. He saw a teacher physically violating a student trying to rip off what she assumed was a fake leg. The look of horror on his face was immediate. "What are you doing?" he shouted, rushing over to help me up. Mrs. Henderson, still holding my damaged prosthetic, confidently explained that she was exposing a faker, and that the leg would have popped right off if it was real. The principal's expression went from confused to absolutely furious when he realized what had happened. Jake showed everyone the video he'd captured. You could clearly see her grabbing my leg, me screaming in pain, and her continuing to pull while I begged her to stop. The evidence was undeniable. She was escorted off campus within the hour and fired before the day ended. The school district immediately launched an investigation, and my parents filed both criminal charges and a civil lawsuit. Mrs. Henderson lost her teaching license permanently and had to pay significant damages. Some people just can't believe disabilities they can't see, even when the proof is right in front. Some people just can't believe disabilities they can't see, even when the proof is right in front of them. Was firing her enough, or should there have been a harsher punishment? Like, and comment your opinion.